back to In the Stacks at the Land O'Lakes Library. I'm Marina.
I'm Carrie.
And as you can see, we're not actually at Land O'Lakes right now because we're still remodeling. Currently, we're still at the Starkey Ranch Library, so that's why everything kind of looks new. But we're still here for you guys. So today we're gonna do a fun, different kind of video. We're gonna go with the times and we're gonna talk about some books that are popular on TikTok and go through them and let you know if we thought they're worth the hype or not. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get started.
Okay, so the first book that I am reviewing, if you will, was It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I read this before it blew up on TikTok, I think.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say that I did. So this book has, most of the books have a few trigger warnings.
Yeah.
And we will go over those before we go into discussion about them. So this book talks a lot about domestic abuse. But also how to overcome it and how to come out the other side better than ever. So we follow our main characters, Lily and Ryle.
That's a fun name. Yeah.
Lily is opening up a flower shop and Ryle is a surgeon. That is the relationship that has some struggles, and I'm not going to go into it too much because I don't want to give it away. But BookTok really put me through it. This book was really great. I liked it. I gave it a solid 4 out of 5. I did cry.
You did cry.
So
okay.
Yeah, and that's hard to do for me to make me cry. So I liked it a lot. I really can't talk about this book a lot without giving it away. But Lily does end up coming into contact with an old friend.
Okay.
And her old friend's name is Atlas, and he kind of gets her through a lot of stuff and tries to wake her up from what she's going through. But I really liked this book, and I feel like it opened my eyes a lot more to domestic abuse and what goes on with it.
Yeah.
It was educational, inspirational, and all around a good book.
I like it.
There you go.
So worth the hype.
Yes, I think so.
All right. So our next book, I don't actually physically have, but we're gonna attach it to the screen. Somewhere, you'll find it. It is We Are Liars by E. Lockhart. Sorry, guys. And I might get some shade for this one, but I honestly, personally, I didn't love it. It has so much hype on TikTok, and a lot of people do like it, and I guess it really just depends on, what you're looking for in a book and like how much you're looking to connect with the characters in the book. But me personally, I didn't love it because I don't know, the writing was different, and I'm really here for different writing, but it was just different in a way that I didn't love. I will say I did like the symbolism and the imagery that she used. Like I was like, that's really cool. I gave this book a 2.5 out of 5. Yeah. Don't hate me.
We're all allowed our own tastes in books.
Right. We all have our opinions. I'm not going to tell you not to read it. And I think it's so big because of that plot twist at the end. And I'll be honest, I didn't expect that plot twist. And it got to me and it upset me in a lot of ways. And I feel like the book just got so dark so quick, which I'm not against, but I was just like, what am I reading? The entire book. So I say read it if you want to know what it's all about and make your own judgments, but I'm just gonna say, to me personally, it's not worth the hype. So
fair enough.
All right, don't hate me.
Okay, so my next book is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This was the first book I ever read and tabbed along with.
Oh, it was?
Along with, yes.
Okay.
So I got some little tabbies going. That was such a fun experience. I don't not tab books anymore. get in there with the double negative. So this book follows Evelyn Hugo. Who would have thought?
Shocker.
She is a actress in Hollywood. It follows her rise to fame and her relationships that she has had to endure through that. So marriages, fiancés, divorces, all that kind of stuff. Really the only main triggers for this are divorce and death. It wasn't too in depth with either of those, but I mean it does talk about them. I thought it was really cool to see the challenges of like being an actress in Hollywood. Not that I'm saying this is 100% exactly what it's like to be an actress in Hollywood.
Right.
Because I wouldn't know. But
right.
If this is anything like it, yikes. But it was really fun. I really loved it. Again, I tabbed it a lot. That was a fun experience. I finished this book sitting on the beach on the 4th of July as fireworks were going off.
Wow.
Chef's kiss. Best way to finish a book ever. If you can swing that, do it.
Yeah.
So fun. Overall, I definitely think this book was worth the hype. I would give it like a 4.5 out of 5.
Solid.
I liked it a lot. It was a good experience. Again, Taylor Jenkins Reid. She's got a lot of little plot twists in her book.
I'm here for it.
There was one in this one. Loved that too. Overall, worth the hype.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm excited to read it just based on your review. It's on the list, guys.
And then we can go over the tabs together.
And then, yes, that's what we do. We read the same books and we tab them. It's a thing now. And then we go over what we tabbed and how it's different, or if we tab the same things. It's kind of a fun thing. I highly suggest.
Yeah, if you have friends, you have friends that read. If you have friends that don't read,
make them read.
Pick out the same book. Yeah. Tab it and go over it, and then they'll love reading. Yeah,
maybe. It's an experiment to try. You
Yes.
never know. So our next book is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. So the title's basically a spoiler, and I think that's like the number one thing people comment about when they first see this book. And so all I heard on TikTok was, I read this book, it's amazing, I sobbed. And I was like, okay, bet. Like, I need to know if it's gonna make me cry. I'm that type of person. I don't know why.
I immediately am like, no, I'm not gonna read it. I will not cry.
No, I see, sometimes I just want to be
the challenge.
Emotionally distraught by my books.
Sure.
Because, why not? I want to feel different emotions. That might be too much information, but there it is. So this book, disclaimer, it does talk about death in a good way. Like, it talks about life and death. I know that's weird for me to say it talks about death in a good way, but when I say that, I mean like it focuses on living life, because you never know when the time's gonna be. So basically this book is about an alternate universe where this organization is created called Deathcast, where basically they estimate when people are gonna die, and they'll call you up that day and be like, hey, just so you know, this is your last day on Earth, live your life to the best. It's kind of scary. In my opinion, I would never want this because I don't want to know when my time is, but that's also another conversation that this book brings up. So it follows two characters who end up getting that call, and they end up meeting each other to spend their last day together, and that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I will say, I cried. Yeah, I sobbed. It got me, especially because I was mourning another book, and I was like, let me read this to like cleanse my palate so I can move on. Big mistake. It was a mistake. But I would give this a 4.5 out of 5. It is definitely worth the hype, and I highly suggest. And, okay, here's some news. There is a prequel coming out for this book in the fall of 2022. So if you read this and you liked it, or if you read it and you like it, look out for that next book coming out. Yeah, so worth it. Worth it.
So this is the last book that I read that she hasn't. This is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Yikes. So this book has quite a few little trigger warnings to go with it. It discusses chronic illness, suicide, self-harm, death, rape,
Rough.
child abuse,
Ooh.
kidnapping. Like, if there's a trigger warning, it's in this book. But I did like it. I read this book right in the middle of quarantine. I was alone. I had just gotten a cat. And if I hadn't just gotten a cat, I don't know if I could have gotten through this book. This book was so sad. We follow Jude and 3 of his friends from college, mostly following Jude's life, but we do get glimpses into everyone else's as well. And Jude has a chronic illness that is later explained in the book on how it came to be. And he has had a rough life. But we just follow from college all the way through to adulthood, everything that they go through as a group of friends and that they go through individually. And it was rough, but yeah. I am dubbing for myself the year 2022 a year of the reread. I'll be rereading things. And this is gonna be one of them. I don't know why I'm doing it to myself, but I want to tab it so much. So I'll be rereading it, but for now, I would give it a 3 out of 5, just because I love a good dialogue.
Oh yeah.
And there's none of that in here. This is just dense wordage. But it's really good, and I liked it, and it opened my eyes to a lot of things and a lot of tough topics that I don't normally think about. And I'm excited to read it again. But it is very intense. Like, I would call my parents, they'd be like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "For now, yes."
Yeah. For now.
So be careful if you decide to read it. But it's good, and I think
worth the hype.
Yeah, I think it's worth the hype, and I think it's an important thing for people to learn about and to read about.
Yeah. So. I feel like you have a kind of a theme with your 3 books.
Sad?
Yes, and yes, sad. But also, like, they're fiction, but like you're learning new perspectives. And I think that's the beauty of reading right there.
Also the beauty of BookTok, of like people who read books about things that they deal with in their life, and then somebody else may read it and they're like, "I never knew about that," and now they do, and they can pass the word on to their friends. And
it's a beautiful thing. All right,
love it.
Yeah, that book is rough. She just told me about it.
So big.
It's that's a long book, but just hearing about it was hard. I don't know how she read it. All right, so the next 2 books we're gonna go over, we both read, so this is kind of fun for us because we love talking about books that we both read. So, first one, People We Meet on Vacation.
I tapped so much more than you.
You did tap way more than me.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. Interrupting me all the time. I'm kidding. It's the other way around. So this book is A Friends to Lovers. It is adult fiction romance, so just a heads up on that. I don't think there are any triggers.
Just to feel like a good time.
Yeah, a good time, But yeah, so it is a Friends to Lovers romance, and it's cute, and it's beautiful, and I love it. So Alex and Poppy, they meet in college, and once their friendship kind of started, they ended up going on vacation every summer. They just saved their money, found like cheap deals, and every summer for like a week, they would find a new place to visit because Poppy's a little adventurer. But something happens one summer where they just like don't talk for like 2 to 3 years, which is heartbreaking. But what I really like is that Emily Henry, she doesn't tell you right away. So there's like a little mysterious aspect where you a little a bit of a suspense where you're just like, okay, but like what happened?
You have to keep reading because it could be the next chapter and it could not be. You never know.
Right,
so
exactly.
Why stop at that chapter when the next chapter could tell you everything?
Exactly.
And then you're up at 3 a.m.,
And then you have to work at 7, but that's adulthood when you have to read.
That didn't happen to us. I'm not talking from experience.
I can't say anything. Anywho, so me, I think I would give this a 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. Worth the hype? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It was so cute. I love the relationship between Poppy and Alex. It warms my little heart. I really loved, the one thing I loved about this book, and she's heard it several times, are the pop culture references. I am a sucker for some 80s rom-com, early 90s, and she references literally the beginning of the book of how they officially become friends. I'm just like, yo, that's when Harry met Sally right there. That's what that is. And then she's like, and then she references it later. Like, if you look at the back of the book, like the author's note, she's like, I love When Harry Met Sally, which is a friends to lovers type of movie. And she quotes, You've Got Mail, one of my top favorite rom-coms. And I just love it. I love when books reference pop culture things that I'm obsessed with. So, and the dialogue.
The dialogue, man. The dialogue.
Excellent. Yeah.
This book made up for the dialogue of this book.
Yes. Yeah. I honestly, Emily Henry, read her stuff.
Any of it.
Yeah. She's coming out with a book in summer, May 2022. We're just hyping all these upcoming books. Hope you enjoy that. So, okay, what would you give this?
I think I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Seems solid.
Solid, yeah. And worth the hype?
Yes.
For sure.
Yes. We have, since we've read this, there have been so many people who work at this library and the library system in general who have read it, and they've come back to us and they've been like, oh my gosh, I love this part and this part and this part. And we're like, yeah, we told you would.
Yeah, we've been doing that. A lot of books have been read and we're just like, okay, so if you like this, go read this one now.
Yeah.
Okay, you like that? Okay, go read this one now. So we're the book rec people.
For sure.
I accept.
And that's okay.
We're
okay with that.
Yeah, I accept the position, you know? But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
People we met on vacation.
Okay, so our next book that we both read is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Yes, another Taylor Jenkins Reid book.
This was a book that we both read. I read it first.
She did.
Not to brag. This book, just to get the trigger warnings out of the way first, does discuss some drug and alcohol abuse and addiction. That's pretty much
that's it.
I think.
But, with what it's about, it's common.
It has to happen. So this book follows Daisy Jones and the Six.
A band.
Wow. No, Daisy Jones is a solo artist and the Six is a band. And they collaborate and they make music together, and it kind of goes through their journey of what it's like to make music with a full band that's already a unit and a solo artist that's also already a unit, and them collaborating together. It was also unlike any book I've ever read before because it was written in an interview style. So you got the whole story but from everybody's point of view, and so it varied from person to person, and it just felt like you were reading an interview by like a real celebrity. And it was really cool. There's a plot twist, like always.
Always a plot twist.
I didn't see it coming.
Me
I don't know if
neither.
you saw it coming.
No way.
My dad also didn't see it coming. My dad read this book. He liked it a lot.
She got, basically, once she read it, everybody in her life, she's like, you should read this.
You have to read this. Have you read this? You should read this. Do you want to read this? You should read this.
Yeah, that was what happened.
Yeah, pretty much. But I loved it a lot just because it was different. I've never read something like it before. I feel like it opened my eyes to what it's like to write music with other people, although who knows if this is actually what it's like, but I'm gonna pretend like it is. It did talk a lot about drugs and alcohol, but that's making music, I guess, especially in showbiz in that time.
The 70s?
Yeah.
And during the 70s, classic rock and roll.
Yeah.
It's expected.
Yeah. And some of that was hard to read, but...
Was it?
I liked it. I thought so.
Okay. We come from different worlds. It's fine.
But I really loved this book. I gave it a different rating than I'm going to give it right now.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay. I would agree with that. 4 out of 5. And it was good.
Yeah.
Like, it was good. Like, the story was good. I'm a sucker for just learning about music. Like, music is, like, low-key a passion of mine. And just learning about them creating the music, I think that was the best part for me. My favorite part is
the creative process.
Yes, watching like two beautiful artistic minds work together to create lyrics and music, and I'm just I fangirled over it so much. And then they have all the songs that they wrote in the back of the book, and these songs don't exist; they're not real songs. So when author basically writes their own poetry music, because music is basically poetry in most ways. I'm just like, yes, they're so talented, because it's hard to write music. Like, it's hard. We know. We tried as children.
One song.
It's fine.
Did not work out.
But yeah, I think it's worth the hype. I definitely think it's worth a read. Especially because they're making a show.
They are.
They're making
so
a show.
excited.
And if they're going to make a show or a movie out of a book, you got to read the book first so you can appreciate the television or movie aspect of it.
For sure.
So, but yeah. So that's our last book. Thanks for joining us. We are going to do a part 2 because there's just so many more books to talk about. Because
they just keep coming.
They do. It just keeps piling on, and you know, BookTok is a thing, and I'm not ashamed to say I love it.
Who are we to say that it doesn't deserve a video?
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
We must.
And so we're gonna talk about some pretty big fandoms next time. So stay tuned.
Just 2, pretty much.
Just 2, yeah.
Just a hard deep dive.
God, I just got the goosebumps. I'm so excited. All right. So thanks for joining us this time. We'll see you next time. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. This is like a whole 5 minutes of garbage. Are you ready?
She's elegant. She's great. She will fall flat on her face. Given the chance.
Can you put that in my papers? I feel like if I put my hands like this, we're newscasters. Hello, world.
We need to have like our little
in today's
in
news.
Chicago.
Okay, you're gonna introduce yourself. Yeah.
Okay, I got these earrings for my mommy.
We're never gonna start. I do like them though. They're really cute. I didn't realize they were oval until I got closer.
Yes, I'm ready. I'm gonna introduce myself.
Okay. Because you're an adult. At the Land O'Lakes Library. As you see, we're not really at the Land O'Lakes
Are
Library.
you gonna introduce yourself?
I'm gonna get there.
I'm sorry. I think it should happen before you do the disclosure of where we are.
So what? Say hello and welcome back to In the Stacks.
Land O'Lakes Library. I'm Marina. I'm Carrie.
Okay.
I can see.
Yeah. Okay.
Things are wrong.
Things are wrong. We're not home. We're not in the right place. Okay. Oh my god. Hello. Welcome back to In the Stacks at the Land O'Lakes Library. I'm Marina.
I'm Carrie.
And obviously, no.
And obviously, no.
Obviously, no, I did not like any of that.
People are here.
I know, I hear them. They have arrived.
The Queen's coming.
Winter is coming. Okay. All right, so.
And then you go, all right, so.
No, I hate that I do that sometimes. And then like I do that without even realizing I do that. So guys, listen. Next book.